Good morning. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Tuesday, the 18th of August. My disclaimer: I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts, and I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, great. Let's have a look at the NQ sell signal that was open yesterday, and that's made target, and the one on Nikkei, which has also made target. So we're out of these sell signals that we had. We are seeing a bit of a suggestion that we might see some buy signals forming. Retest the overnight low. We could get one going on ES. NQ, we've got nothing at the moment. RTY, we've got nothing at the moment. YM, which has been the weakest in recent days, not so much yesterday. We've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed now. DAX, we've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed now, with nothing on the STX and nothing on Nikkei at the moment. So we've got a bit of a suggestion of a rally here. I am wondering about a rally here after a fairly strong day, basically yesterday, and we will see how that goes, but let's have a look and see how these look on the RTH charts. Now, the first thing to say is we did have an RSI 5 sell signal brewing on ES, SPX, and on Qs, and the ones on SPX and ES have fixed, and these are good sell signals. These will generally make a target, and although I would say in the last one where we were in a pretty serious uptrend, we did actually see a higher high before it delivered. We saw a sell signal fix here, then we went higher, and then it delivered. So that is a warning. But nonetheless, these are pretty good sell signals, and we will see how this one develops. I am wondering very much about a backtest of the daily middle band. I've got that at 7600 on SPX and at 7630 on ES. So I'm wondering whether we might drop another handles, 100 handles, and we'll see. Now, Qs, we actually held up pretty well on tech yesterday. In fact, we saw a slight actually traded over the 50 DMA on stocks almost all day yesterday. We're still not close to failing that head and shoulders, but that was looking as though it might. It was looking as though could be breaking higher. And I would say on stocks, if this is a flag, we went up and we tested the flag resistance yesterday. And I am wondering, obviously, whether this could be a flag. Doesn't mean we're not going to retrace here. In terms of Qs, it does mean that we haven't had the RSI 5 sell signal fix here yet, but we've seen some reasonable overnight action over. We might see the Qs one fixed today, but if we are going to see tech start outperforming, then of course that could drive the overall market higher. And this was, for the first time in a while, tech outperforming the others yesterday. Nothing really to see on the hourly chart. We haven't reached the obvious flag resistance on the Qs yet. On the hourly chart, actually, we do have a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed and an RSI 5 sell signal fixed, which has now reached the possible near miss target. Looking at Dire, we never had any divergence because we didn't have a retest. This was still the weakest yesterday, and we are testing. We are close to testing the daily middle band at 530, and I'm wondering about a possible move to test this rising support here in about the 523, 524 area. Nothing to see really on the hourly chart. A little bit of positive divergence and a weak RSI 5 RSI 14 buy signal brewing on the 15-minute here. All right, let's have a look at IWM. Okay, looking at IWM, we lost our negative divergence there on IWM, so we will see how that goes. On the hourly chart, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal that has fixed, suggesting some more downside, and 15-minute, we've got nothing to see, but we stayed pretty close to the highs yesterday. Oddly, this was a day where SPX fell and Dow fell, but tech held up okay, and so did IWM. That is unusual. Looking at DAX, we have a weak RSI 5 sell signal fixed here on the DAX chart. We are testing some big resistance here. I am wondering if that might hold. Nikkei, obviously, we had the head and shoulders fail, and that's got a target up at a retest of these highs. So I am thinking we may well see some more downside here, but the sell signals that we were opening with yesterday have have made target now. What I would say is we did have 3 days of bullish stats, historical stats, first 3 days of this week. So far, that is not delivering. It may continue not delivering. We shall see. All right, let's have a look at DX, where we had a possible 60-minute buy signal ring yesterday morning, and that has fixed, and the sell signal on USD has fixed, and GBP USD has fixed and made the possible near miss target. USD JPY, got a possible sell signal brewing here. Yeah, that is a possible sell signal brewing here. Sorry, I'm going to just write that in. It's not great. It's weak, but it's not bad either. Now, this is likely to be forming a bear flag. So really, the obvious next move would be a test of the breakdown from the flag and a retest of these lows. We will see how that develops. In terms of USD CAD, 60-minute buy signal is fixed, hasn't made target yet. Australian dollar, no current divergence, and NZUSD, we had a sell signal, and that has now made target. We've still got, we're back testing the weekly pivot here on NZUSD, and we've still got an IHS which has broken up with a target in the 59.63 area. All right, let's have a look at bonds. Bonds, I was saying this was like a bearish consolidation. We've gone down, we've retested the low, and continuing lower at the moment, we do have, for the moment, a possible level bottom setup. ZN has held up better and hasn't retested the lows yet, but still looks like a bearish consolidation. Looking at coil now. I would say here that I've got mixed feelings about this, but I'll go through the futures charts first. Week 60-minute sell signal is fixed on Brent, coilers Brent, on CL, and on heating oil. And I'm wondering, but of course, if this is a strong move, then it may just go through those signals. These are all very weak signals, weak divergences. We've not reached a particularly high level on the hourly RSI, but I am considering the possibility that we might see a significant pullback here. In terms of RBOB, we are heading higher and getting pretty close to a retest of this high, which was the obvious target. On NG, we had a weak 6-minute buy signal. We've seen a bit of a rally here, and it's reached possible near miss target, but the obvious next target is really a retest of this low here. And this wasn't a particularly large bounce on this buy signal. In terms of Brent, well, looking at the hourly charts, we do have a weak 6-minute weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed here too. We've got another one of those fixed on WTIC. These are weak sell signals, so they may not deliver, but we do have a setup where we could potentially go down. I'm also looking at a setup here where I've been drawing in possible IHS patterns. Now, they're not great quality, but I am wondering if these are IHS patterns which are breaking up with a target and a retest of the July highs. There's 102.03 on Brent, and on WTIC, that would be a retest of 93.51. This is a better quality IHS here, actually, than the one on Brent. But these are significant. Doesn't mean we can't see a bit of a retrace here. But obviously, if we got down below 80.10 here on WTIC, then potentially that would be an IHS failing. With a retarget at a retest of the low. But I have to say, looking around at the war, well, there's no good news at all, really. So things have actually got significantly worse because an awful lot of the Saudi routes around the Strait of Hormuz have now been basically closed off by the Houthis in the Bab el-Mandab Strait. So the war is not going well. I wouldn't be surprised to see it return, and I'm wondering if this is set up to see this return to those highs. We will see. In the short term, we are seeing a bit of negative divergence. We'll see how that develops. In terms of GC, we are consolidating. We've broken up from the double bottom. I think this is a bullish consolidation. We're likely to head higher. SI, the same. Double bottom here is broken up with a target in the 71.25 to 72.50 range. GC is broken up with a target 48.35 to 49.25 range. But we've also, on the bigger picture, broken up from the bull flag channel that we've been watching for months. And that's got a target at a retest of the all-time high. On palladium, still got a double bottom which is broken up with a target in the 1572 to 1610 range. Still could be a bear flag forming. Platinum could still just about be a bear flag forming. Wondering if we might see an IHS form here. Of course, we could start forming a right shoulder here. We will see. HG, I'm still thinking this, we've got pretty stiff resistance up here at about the 6.8 area, and I'm not really expecting to see that broken, but I could be surprised. All right, let's have a look at the other commodities. KC still looks like a bullish consolidation. SB is going up through the 60-minute sell signal at the moment and continuing higher. On CC, CC, this looks like a bullish consolidation before we retest this high and then probably go back to retest this high. On lumber, lumber's still holding the support, and we're still running a bit on a 60-minute buy signal, although very weakly. I'm thinking we may well see a breakdown through support as and when this rally is finished. CT, heading higher a bit, possible weak 6-minute sell signal brewing. ZW, pretty close to the double bottom target in the 703 to 704 area, but haven't actually reached it yet. On corn, the little double bottom with target at a retest of this high here has made target. This could be a larger double top, of course. We will see how that develops. We've got a 6-minute sell signal fixed. In terms of soy, this little double bottom made target. This is arguably, I think this might be, no, it is arguably an inverted head and shoulders actually. And this has broken up with a target in the, what would that be? About up here, I think, about 12.7 to 37 area. Sorry, I haven't put that in. I'll put that in for tonight. ZL, breaking up. I'm still leaning towards seeing a retest of this high. Live cattle, the double bottom failed. We could have a larger double bottom here, but really I'm thinking leaning towards it heading down to the head and shoulder target in the 284.45 area. And lean hogs, we've got a 6-minute sell signal as reached as possible near miss target. And the obvious next target after this IHS broke up and failed would be a retest of this low here in the 79.5 area. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. Everyone take care. No questions, so I will catch you guys tomorrow. All right, cheers.